Hey everybody, after the last video I realized there's a few minor errors that need to be corrected, one of which was the port 80 redirect to SSL. The problem is that Let's Encrypt and the acme.sh package is going to try to use HTTP, not HTTPS, to validate the domain each time it does a renewal. But because we have redirected everything to HTTPS, it's very likely that on the time of the renewal, this will not work correctly. So we're going to correct that here. I'm going to connect into the server. And then again, in our Nginx configuration, you'll see in here, we have the redirect for the server. Now the directory name I could not remember in the last video was, it's called well-known. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put in a match for that directory and not redirect that directory simply by doing the following. We go location, well-known, and then inside that we specify the root, which in our case is home YouTube public HTML. And we also need to specify the try files for this. And we don't care about directories. The Let's Encrypt servers are only going to try and fetch an absolute address of a file. So we'll just say try to find the actual file, otherwise throw an error, 404 error. For consistency, I'll put that curly brace on the same line. The redirect now, we need to stop it from being global because it's going to redirect no matter what if we leave it there. We have to put it inside a location match as well. So if we just go location and put that inside there. So now what will happen is if the URI starts with period well-known, it will use the root and serve out the file over HTTP. Otherwise, it's going to redirect everything else to the HTTPS site, and that will correct that problem. So as always, we test our config before applying it. Okay, we actually have an error. So there you go, a good example of catching an error before we restart the server. Line 29, looks like I've misspelt try files. I've left the S out. I also did note, we'll fix it while we're here, I made an error here in the other video too. This should be 315, not 314. I even said 315 and still typed the 4. But again, we'll test our config. We're now good. So again, we'll just reload the reload Nginx. We want to reload Nginx. So that problem is now corrected. I think that's it for this addendum, so I'll leave it at this and begin work on the next video. The next one's going to contain the instructions on how to configure PHP.